Broadcasting live from the Cactus Reserve on the plain of Thunder Junction, this is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome, everybody, to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham, and joining me is Kathleen.
Hello.
And Cameron.
Huh?
And today, we're
goth.
talking Thunder Junction. Today, you're always goth.
Feeling particularly black aligned today.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, we're gonna crack some packs of Thunder Junction. Actually, we're gonna crack them open and go through them and give our thoughts and talk about the format that we've played of it thus far, and hopefully you will enjoy that. Great start, Graham. I want to remind everybody that the show is brought to you by Card Kingdom. You can get yourself some packs of Thunder Junction. Is the plane called Thunder Junction?
I think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yes.
You can go to cardkingdom.com/LRR to do that and tell them that we sent you and ask nicely for a button, and they'll give you a button that says something funny. I think we're still on the move to Newt step, but
Okay.
I'm not actually sure. And the
I was
show,
just thinking. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
everything that we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or you can now also become a member on this very YouTube channel if you prefer to do it through that funding ecosystem. And we really appreciate it. Cameron, what were you saying?
I just had the weirdest thought enter my head for a button last night, and it was guns, gems, and steel. And I have no idea how it would, what that even means.
I don't know either. Also, we're opening these 3 packs at least, and we're gonna give them away, all 3 of them, to one viewers at home, and to be entered to win, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. That's it, and then we'll pick one at random and we'll ship them out to you. These are, of course, Outlaws of Thunder Junction play boosters, the best of draft and set boosters. They say on them.
I mean, so far I quite like them, honestly.
Yeah. Here, I'll go first.
Oh, I wanted to... Oh, wait, we got to get the ASMR of the opening of the pack.
All right, well, you can do that when it's your turn.
Hold.
So yeah, how much have you played?
Not as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of pre-releases on Arena. I have yet to do anything paper outside of this room.
Yeah. I've done mostly Arena since we did our pre-launch thing, we did the Fam Jam, and then since then, once it's actually officially out in Arena, I've done a battery of sealeds. One of which was a very clean 7-1, and the others were not good.
What was the difference between the 7-1 and the not 7-1?
You know what's funny is that one, the one that I did very well on, was a deck with good cards. They were not slouches. Like, the cards were good, but they were not astronomical bombs. But the deck was very efficient.
Was that the deck full of 2-for-1s that you showed me?
Yes.
I have a theory about this format, but let's get...
I will say, because I'm going to be a little negative about some aspects of it in a moment, but I do find myself losing to, big preposterous bombs from the bonus sheets. But also, I find myself losing to just very efficient 2-color synergy decks.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I've done 2 pre-releases, and the first one, I had a green-black deck that I, just was crushing people with, and it felt really good. But it didn't have any bomb cards in it. The other deck I played had an Oko. It had the Rhino that puts counters on things when they ETB, and then it had the other green mythic.
That's messed up.
Yeah, and it did not win a game. It went 0-3. And the difference was the deck with the 3 mythics curved at 3, and the deck with no good cards in it curved at 2, and went 7-2 or 7-1.
Huh.
So I think this is a Vrum format.
Interesting.
Also, I was speaking with a friend who did 5 pre-releases over the weekend, and she dropped 2 games. And her card of the set is the Golgari uncommon from the bonus sheet that reanimates a creature and makes it fight something.
Back for more.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
Yeah, very, very easy to 3-for-1 someone off that.
I already opened my pack, but yeah, let's get into that now. Here's my problem. I think we touched on this briefly before. The reason that the breaking news, specifically the breaking news, the big score is like honestly seems fine. The reason that the breaking news bonus sheet to me is so backbreaking is that when you look at the Brothers War bonus sheet, there were some powerful artifacts on there, right? But it was all sort of like it was artifacts from a big breadth of stuff.
Right.
When you looked at the Wilds of Eldraine bonus sheet, it was like it was again there was some powerful stuff there, but it was a bunch of enchantments, and some of them were
There's
better, and
also
some of them
some
were worse.
very like. There's that one that was like situationally super good, but only in the right kind of deck.
Yeah.
And like it was a lot of like these are okay, but you're not going to be like bonus sheet.
Yeah. And the breaking news bonus sheet is mostly, not exclusively, but mostly incredibly good removal spells.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all crimes.
And
Yeah.
so you're just getting beat to hell by this newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah. As it turns out, anything that can be considered a crime generally is some kind of interaction.
Well, it did literally by definition it has to interact with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like this well of cards that always do something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like sometimes you just like, I don't know, you would rip something from the artifact bonus sheet, but you were already dead on board, right? Like, whereas the breaking news cards feel like they're always a hot draw.
There's some real messed up ones too.
I mean,
the
villainous wealth is on
what's
it.
the blue-white counterspell that you get a copy of the creature that you counter?
Oh yeah, I don't remember, but that one's gross.
I forget.
Yeah, it's you make you counter it and then you make a token copy of the creature. So that one's messed up. Pariah is a wild card.
Oh yeah, that one's so old.
Yeah, it's a creature enchantment.
Mhm.
And you can enchant your opponent's creature, which I didn't realize the first time I read it. And it's all damage that would be dealt to you is instead dealt to that creature.
Oh.
So Adam and I had a game where the creature's toughness was larger than its power.
Mhm.
And so we would just block the other. They were like, I attack with everything. And so we like make profitable blocks on the other creatures. And then this 4/5 hits us and deals 4 damage to itself
Right.
and doesn't kill itself. And so lives. And we're like, all right, now we attack you. Now you can attack us again. And it's not going to kill your own creature. So, and you can't hurt us. And they had like a death toucher that was like, they had the patron of the stinger or whatever it is. That's like, it's got a death touch. It's a 1/3 death touch. When it deals damage to an opponent, if you've committed a crime this turn, you can sacrifice it to tutor. But
Right.
with Pariah in play, it's not dealing damage to us.
Oh, so you didn't even have to
Hilarious.
block it?
No. What we did, though, because apparently, at least this is what chat told us, that the death touch would have still worked. If it hit us and the damage instead went to the thing with Pariah,
Oh.
the death touch still would have
kill
killed
the
it.
thing with Pariah.
So we still blocked that thing, but is
oh, that's
really weird.
funny, though.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway,
Yeah,
let's-
those are powerful cards.
yeah, they're messed up. Let's start going through this this booster and see what we can talk about. Slick Shot Vault Buster is my first comment here. 2 in a
Also
blue.
my high school nickname.
Yeah. 2 in a blue for a 1/4 with vigilance, and as long as you've committed a crime this turn, it gets +2/+0. This is fine. I've seen it played. It's not. I don't think it's that exciting. Adam and I yesterday at time of recording on LRRMTG drafted a deck with 4 copies of Intimidation Campaign.
Oh.
So it was very heavy on crimes, and we did not run this. It's just
Wow.
Yeah, this seems like this should be okay. But
Yeah.
honestly, I think like at 3, I'd want to play these at 3 mana or 2 mana so you could swing on 3. But like,
It's probably too good on 2 mana.
I mean, like at that point, it's kind of like bigger fiend, kiln
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Like, these are I don't like this.
I feel like this is your 24th card when you're in the blue-red double spells deck.
Yeah, probably. Bridled Bighorn, 3 in a white for a 3/4 sheep mount. It's got vigilance. Whenever it attacks while saddled, you make a 1/1 sheep, and it saddles for 2. This is nice.
Yeah.
This is a good one.
That seems fine. It's a 3/4 for 4. It's got vigilance, and you can tap something that can't profitably attack that turn to make a token.
It's nice
And-
when you've made your first 2 sheep, and then the sheep can climb on board the other sheep.
It's it bootstraps
Well, I mean-
itself into self-saddling.
Eventually, when you have 2 sheep you can possibly use that. Sheep do beget more sheep eventually.
Also, the tokens can block. They enter untapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like this.
This is one of the best red common creatures, I think. Prickly Pear.
Yeah.
Very clever name, by
We
the
were
way.
talking about all those 2-for-1s.
Yeah, 2 and a red for a 2/2 plant mercenary, and when it enters the battlefield, you get one of the 1/1 red mercenary tokens with the ability that these tokens all have, which is tap to give another creature +1/+0 and any creature, but got to tap that creature to do it, and you can only do that at a sorcery.
Gosh, a lot of 3-drops in this format. You're right, Cameron.
Yeah, Prickly
think
Pear is very good.
Yeah, I think my problem was I got like bogged down in playing decent 3-drops and wound up in my games just not having any gas early.
Right. Yeah.
The card everyone seems to have when you least want them to, Snakeskin Veil. Heck of a reprint. Single green mana. Target creature gets... you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, and it gains hexproof until end of turn. It's a nice trick. It's a real good trick to have around, especially with all them breaking news cards.
Yeah, turns out a 1 mana negate is good.
I mean, even 2 is pretty good. The one, I don't remember the name of it. I think it's something Reflection. It's not like Prickly Reflection. I can't remember what it is, but it's 1 and a blue. Instant target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. There's more text.
Oh, yeah.
Fleeting Reflection. Right. This is a reprint, I think. So yeah, target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Untap that creature. That's enough, honestly. That's enough. But you can also have it become a copy of up to one other target creature. And so I was in a position where I was like, oh, okay, I'll just turn... You're attacking with a 4/4. I'll turn my 3/3 into your 4/5 and eat your creature. And also I've done a crime. So...
Right, yeah.
It's good and efficient. Gold Pan. I have not played with this one yet. 2 mana for an equipment. When it enters the battlefield, make a treasure. The equipped creature gets +1/+1, and it equips for 1.
It's so cheap.
It's Trusty Machete, right?
Wasn't Trusty Machete +2/+1?
Oh, it might have been.
I mean, this
This
turns
is
your
Leonin
mercenaries
sword.
into 2/2s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what was the living weapon from New Phyrexia? It was just like a glove,
Oh, yeah.
but it was a +1/+1. I mean, these things can be useful.
You know, there is a 3/1 equipment that was really good. But I feel like this is, I don't know. How much do you want the gold?
Yeah.
Or the treasure?
Boneyard Desecrator. This is actually the card I was talking about, being with toughness bigger than its power. 3 and a black for a 3/4 zombie mercenary with menace. Sacrifice another creature. That was the key. Once they played this, we're like, well, that has to be the one with pariah, or else they could just sacrifice the creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on Boneyard Desecrator. If an outlaw was sacrificed this way, then you make a treasure token.
Cool art.
This is good. Oh, the art is sick. The art looks like the cover of a very bad album. It looks like
Or an
a
awesome
great
album.
an awesome cover of a bad album.
Yeah. No, this would have come out in the wake of Young Guns 2 and the success of Bon Jovi's hit single Dead or Alive.
I remember watching the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie with Paul,
Wow.
and the bit where he starts talking to the previous rider, played by
Oh,
Sam Cowboyman, the guy who's always like, "I'm a cowboy."
Yeah.
I'm
He's
typecast.
got the
I wanna say
mustache.
Yeah.
Sam. It's not Sam Rockwell.
Nope.
That's a different actor.
And
It's not Sam Campbell. He won Taskmaster.
Sam Neill is from New Zealand. No, I
Yeah.
can't remember. Anyway, and they do the thing where like they both transform
James, help us.
into their Ghost Rider personas.
It's Sam Elliott.
Elliott.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
And Nicolas Cage is on the motorcycle, and Sam Elliott's on his horse, and they're engulfed in flames or whatever. And Paul leans over to me and he's like, "I don't know if the cover of a metal album is what we needed right now in this movie, but here it is." And it's so stupid because he's like, one last ride, and then they fire on and ride to the climactic boss fight, and then Sam Elliott's like, well, that was it then, goodbye, and
Yep.
doesn't get involved. This movie's bad. Bone Deer Desecrator's fine. Moving on.
Poor Nick Cage.
Yeah.
All he ever wanted to be was Ghost Rider.
Just really wants to be Ghost Rider. Form a posse. X red white for a sorcery, and you make X of those 1/1 mercenaries.
I had this at the pre-release, and I thought it was very mid.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this works decently with that, the red uncommon that gives mercenaries haste.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this could be like a fourth Aeorlingus
Sort of.
kind of
Yeah.
with that.
I just feel like in red white, what I was better served by doing was casting 2-drops.
Yeah.
Right?
Fair enough.
It was okay. I don't know. Maybe I haven't found the right deck for it.
How about take for a ride?
I want to take you for a ride.
2 and a red for a sorcery, but it has flash as long as you've committed a crime this turn, and you gain control of target creature and untap it, and it gains haste until end of turn. So this is an act of treason that you can hypothetically cast during combat,
Yeah.
which is a messed up thing to do.
Or on an opponent's turn.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
when they're attacking you,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to take this creature. I'm going to take your creature and untap it and block your other creature with your creature, and now both your creatures die. But you have to crime first.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be able to target something. You have to be able to do that first. But yeah, this seems good.
Yep.
I am probably going to get blown out by that eventually. It hasn't happened yet, but I know it will.
It's going to be the kind of thing where whenever I have it, I can never make it work, and then I will die to it every single time an opponent has it.
Yes, that
Yes,
sounds accurate.
But then you don't see all the times it's sitting in your opponent's hand not being good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Demonic Ruckus. It's 1 in a red for a creature enchantment. The enchanted creature has +1/+1 and menace and trample. When the aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card, and you can plot it for a single red.
This design says to me, he says, please guys, play auras. Look, it's cheap. It's 2 mana. You get +1/+1, menace and trample. That's honestly great. You get 2 keywords and a +1/+1.
Yeah.
And when it dies, you get a card. It literally replaces itself. And if that's still too much to ask, you can play it for 1 mana.
You can
God, just try it, please. We think you'll like them.
this is going to be your turn 1. Just like, all right, I'll just put this in layaway for later.
Mm-hmm.
I've played against this card. It was really annoying.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems really annoying. And even when you have to make a block and remove it, because like if say they just put it on the first creature they resolve, okay, now their very first creature, maybe a 2/2, is 3/3 with menace and trample. You have to double block that to get it off the board. How annoying! Then they get to keep playing creatures, and you've thrown away your whole board to this, and then they get a card out of it.
I mean, I think if you
seemed
put this on a flyer, it's basically unblockable, right?
Yep.
Oh,
For most purposes.
It's real good in the second spells deck, too, because
Oh,
it's
yeah, that-
so cheap.
that's where it goes, right?
Yeah. Next.
That's my pick so far.
Next is a rare. I'm not going to say the rare because we know how these packs go now. Vadmir, New Blood. I've played against this card too, and it was irritating as heck. It's 1 and a black for a 2/2 vampire rogue. Whenever you commit a crime, you put a +1/+1 counter on Vadmir, only once each turn. But then if it gets out of hand and Vadmir has 4 or more +1/+1 counters, meaning that Vadmir is a 6/6, also gets menace and lifelink.
Oh, that seems great. I would definitely maybe take Vadmir. I love black cards. They're just, I don't know, get to kill people, get removal spells if I'm in black.
Yep.
New
yeah.
best friend, taking this card.
Our foil, amusingly, is also Vadmir.
2 Vadmirs at the same time.
Well, I'm going to take the foily Vadmir then.
We have a second rare. I don't know why, but we do. I don't remember exactly how these are meant to be collated, but here we are. 1 in a red. Sorry, this is the Slick Shot Show Off.
Oh, this card's bananas!
This card's very good. 1 and a red for a 1/2 bird wizard
Yeah.
with
Yep.
flying and haste.
Yeah, grats whoever gets this pack. These are now money.
Yes, I have
Really?
seen Ash tweeting about this. This Ash Lizzle, who came out for the
Yeah.
PBR. This card is absolutely bonkers in standard.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, apparently, flying kiln friend is good.
Yeah,
Right.
it's whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2
Yeah.
+0 until end of turn, and also you can plot it for 1 and a red.
The fact that it says non-creature, right? Like, I mean, this wants to be in a Delver deck. It even gets it gets +2 +0 off of your Rune Chanter's Pike
It has
when
haste.
you equip it. Yeah.
So rude.
No,
okay.
love this card.
This
love
one.
this card.
This one. Taking this one.
All right. 2 cards left. We have our land slot, which in this one is a Lush Oasis, one of the crime lands. I think we've come down on crime lands. I didn't make that up, but I think that's where that's
It
where the
makes sense.
community's
They're
decided.
literally they commit a crime when they enter.
So this is the green-blue one. And our breaking news is Fell the Mighty. 4 and a white for a conditional wrath. Destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power.
Oh yes. This seems very conditional.
It is, but it does mean that you can sculpt a board state around it.
I feel like it's good in your little red white weenie deck where maybe you do have a lot of those mercenary tokens
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, F it.
Out of curiosity, do mercenaries does their pump ability say creature you control?
That's a great question.
Check out form a posse. Or does it just say
Prickly pear.
target creature?
Target creature you control, yes.
Oh.
It does, yeah. That would be very funny, though.
So I think we're all gonna take
Slick shot show off.
we're all gonna take slick shot show off. And whoever gets this pack when we give them away.
Yeah. I mean,
You get the slick shot show off.
passing double Vadmirs to confuse everyone downstream of you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right,
next
Kathleen.
pack. Where did I put it? All right. I hope everybody is ready for a Mourner's Surprise. It's a sorcery for 1 and a black that says return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Create a 1/1 red mercenary creature token.
I love the up to. So you could, if you desperately needed, it seems like it'd be terrible, but you could just pay 1 and a black to make a 1/1 mercenary.
Yeah.
I think this card is great. I think that you
Yeah.
get a body, and it's 2. And on later turn, you rip this, you get something back to your hand. Maybe you can probably recast it if you get a low enough drop, or you get your bomb back, and then you get a little chump blocker if you need to.
I like the idea of having things like this in the set with, as we've established, so much powerful removal.
Yeah,
Just
well-
to be like, oh, give me a second chance on this creature, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, black seems just really well positioned to having access to casual removal and then insulation against your opponent's removal.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why black is the best color. Jailbreak Scheme is our next card. It is a spree card. It starts out at 1 and a blue, and then you can a la carte your way up to the following options. For another 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It can't be blocked this turn. Okay. Or another 2 mana, put target artifact or creature's target artifact or creature's owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. I think I'm probably going to be doing this in the 3 mana mode more often.
Yeah.
These the common and uncommon spree cards are very powerful. This one is like the least.
Yeah.
This the giving a creature, at least the counter sticks around, making a creature unblockable. Maybe this could very well win a game if you draw it late and you're at a board stall. I think mostly it's going to be a 3 mana Grip Tide at sorcery speed, which I've used it for that, and it kept me alive an extra turn. But generally this is I don't think this one's particularly exciting, especially considering how bonkers some of them are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would not be excited to play this. But what about Steer Clear?
Love the art on this card.
Yes.
Just because you can saddle a critter doesn't mean it'll let you ride. Attributed to Annie Flash.
Yeah, Steer Clear is good. I think it's good. I think 2 damage, maybe 4 damage if you have a mount, I think is an efficient. I don't want to run 3 of them, but
No.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but yeah, this is fine. I think this is good in that little aggressive red-white or blue-white deck.
Yeah.
All right, next cup it's quick draw. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains first strike until end of turn. This is my Applejack voice when I'm reading to Penelope. Creatures target opponent controls lose first strike and double strike until end of turn.
That second sentence is pretty wild.
Yeah. I saw someone point out that it's weird that if you and your opponent have quick draw, the person who plays it second wins.
Oh yeah.
Or no,
No, because
'cause the person
that
who
would
plays it
resolve
first-
first, and then the second one would resolve and take the first strike away.
Yeah.
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 So that actually works for me now.
No, now that I
Yeah.
think about it. What was that? No, brain. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. Yeah, this seems fine as a it's a good combat trick if you're in the market for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, also, we got a little bit of lore nugget here. Would be remiss if I didn't
Oh,
read this
yeah.
out. The opening of the Omen Pass awoke the wild magic of Thunder Junction. Settlers dubbed it Thunder and put it to use in everything from farming tools to deadly weapons.
Oh, that's how they power their not guns.
All right, we
They're
have
not guns.
They're not. No, they're not. They're thunder thingamajigs. They're boomsticks.
They are boomsticks, aren't they?
I have a Boneyard Desecrator. We've already talked about that card. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So far I'm gonna I might take the quick draw. I think I'm probably gonna
Of the commons, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I take
Maybe
the Mourner
Mourner
Surprise. I'm not taking this. It's Sterling Hound. It's a 3-drop, which I'm already sort of like less interested in, especially when it's a 3/2 for 3 that says when it enters the battlefield, surveil 2. This seems very fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You can
I
play it
like
in whatever.
the flavor text.
Beware of Cog.
Yeah.
You can play it in whatever deck you like because it's colorless. It's fine. It is fine.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, what about a multicolored card? What about a Ruthless Lawbringer? Now, it is a 3/2 vampire assassin for 3, so same stats, but harder to cast. You got to play a white and a black for that. But when it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice another creature. When you do, destroy target non-land permanent.
This card's so messed up.
That's
Yeah.
bananas good.
Yeah. This goes in aristocrats. Well, maybe. It's a Vindicate that is also a body that
Yep.
enables a bunch of your stuff. I mean, you had me at Vindicate that dodges negate.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love this, but I think it's a good card, and I
mean-
think it's very good in the correct limited deck.
I wish it said sacrifice a creature.
Yeah.
So, and you could sacrifice it in a pinch.
Yeah,
That's
I-
probably too good.
Yeah, and at that point, it's getting like much better than Fleshy Bee.
That's true.
But like you can. This solves a lot of problems. This can solve. Yeah, I like it. I like
yeah,
it a lot.
I might take this. But we have another spree card, also in black. This pack is very stacked for black. Perfect. This is Unfortunate Accident. It's an instant for 1, and then the following menu options. For 2 and a black, destroy target creature, and for an additional one, create a mercenary. So think of it as 2 black, destroy target creature. That's pretty standard removal.
Yeah.
Or get a why would I just play this just to get a mercenary? I'd have to be so desperate.
No, this is definitely a 4-mana removal spell that sometimes you have an extra mana and get a 1/1 out of.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
was the one
Which
from
is fine.
Khans of Tarkir that was a 5-mana removal spell? Right of the Snake?
I think so.
That gave you a 1/1 snake?
Right.
Oh, Right of the Serpent.
Right of the Serpent?
It was
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
mana.
Or 6 mana, and it was situational to get the 1/1, I
Eh.
want to say.
Yeah.
Like certain mana was spent to cast it, maybe? I don't know.
Or
I
if the
can't.
creature was enchanted? No.
I don't remember. The
I
point
think you
being,
might have
yeah.
just got the snake.
how
for
much do
6
I
mana.
want to when I take this? I'm not ignore that single black and look and add that destroy target creature mode together. How much do we want? 4 mana destroy. There was one in there was just one in the last set. What was the 2 black destroy a creature and murders? And how good was it there? It was okay.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: is this set also has a card that just is straight up at common, 2 black instant exile a creature,
Yeah.
and if the creature is small, you surveil 2.
Yeah, that seems
Right.
better than this.
Yeah.
yeah.
What's interesting though is that also at uncommon is Shoot the Sheriff, which is 2 mana, but it's destroyed non-outlaw. There's too many outlaws.
It's just not good.
It's
Eh?
it's not. I mean, it kills just about half the creatures in the set, but that means that there's a lot of creatures that it doesn't kill.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. I think Unfortunate Accident is maybe the weaker one of the uncommon cycle of spree cards. Like, I don't know. Maybe you really value the flexibility or getting that 1/1, but I would rather just take the. It's something Ashes. It's something. I don't remember what the common is called that exiles. It's something of the Ashes, but it's.
Yeah.
I would probably rather take that than this.
All right. Well, what about maybe a different one from the uncommon spree cycle? This one's Return the Favor. So this is 2 red, and then it has 2 additional modes that you could choose. So you're looking at either a 3-drop or a 4-drop total. The first one, copy target instant spell, sorcery spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, so this is in the double spells deck that you pay an extra 3 and you get to copy a spell that someone is casting. And then if you have 4 mana, you can change the target of target spell or ability with a single target.
This card's messed up.
So how this works is that you want to have 4 mana because you want to change their bolt to target you want to change their removal spell to target their own creature, and then you want to get a copy of your own to target their other creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This card's like this card should always be a 2-for-1, potentially 3.
Yeah.
Because you're countering their spell and killing 2 creatures.
But it's so specific when you use this.
Yeah, but we talked about how much removal there is. That situation comes up a lot.
That's true. That's true. This is
It's cancel in red.
Yeah, this is fantastic in the red in a red spells deck.
I think it's just good in any red deck.
You think it's good in any red deck?
It's unless you're expecting to be tapped out from casting creatures every single turn. This card
I would say
messed
that
up.
red is like red white is an aggro deck and red black is an aggro deck. So what
I would probably still run one of these because I'm a monster.
Okay, but I mean, like, I guess you eventually run out of creatures or spells possibly to cast, and then you can hopefully get them late game with this.
Yeah.
This is your, hopefully. I don't know. I think this is not so great if you are the kind of red deck who is tapping out to kill them.
Fair enough.
All right, we have some rares, though. How about another spree card? How is spree at rare? We're interrogating spree. This is Rush of Dread. So it starts at 1 black, and then you add stuff. So for an additional 1 mana, so we're getting to 4 mana now, target opponent sacrifices half the creatures they control rounded up.
Cool.
You have to. This is so good when they have 3 creatures on the board. Or for 5 mana, if you do add the second mode, target opponent discards half the cards in their hand, rounded up. Less interested in that.
By the time you can pay for that, how many cards are they going to have in their hand still?
That's for commander problems, I think. And then 1 black plus a 2. So this is an alternate 5-cost mode. Target opponent loses half their life, rounded up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cruel ultimatum.
Yeah, this seems really good. And you get the one you care about for limited cheap.
Yeah.
And if you maybe can do 1 and 3, you can pay a full 6 for it.
You mentioned commander as well. Each of these modes can target a different opponent.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
If you so desire. Or you can just absolutely hammer on one person.
Oh, yeah. You're the problem. I'm the solution. Don't we love me? Aren't I so brave and good for the table for running this Rush of Dread? I'm a helper.
This card seems like, the thing is, I don't actually know if this is the first pick for limited. If I was drafting this, just because it is expensive and you're going to get, in the case where you said where they have 3 creatures, you're getting 2 creatures, but it's their 2 worst creatures.
Yes. I mean, you have to pop this off really early.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I love this for limited as much as maybe I like the.
I'm going to wait to see what other rares you got kicking around.
Return the Favor at this point, I think.
Yeah.
You guys have talked me into it. But I think that I've got another black rare.
Oh, boy.
Because it's my pack. And this is the best thing ever. It's the Snorse. It's the Caustic Bronco. Have you not seen the Snorse discourse?
No, the Snorse that Bob's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is
I
more-
have yet
more-
to encounter this.
More Magic the Gathering sentences.
Yeah.
It's
So
Caustic Bronco, the Snorse that Bob's are on.
whenever Caustic Bronco attacks, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to that card's mana value if Caustic Bronco isn't saddled. Otherwise, each opponent loses that much life. What? It's like a double negative here, but it's got a saddle cost of 3. So you have to tap a creature with power 3 to it to saddle it, and if it is saddled, you reveal the top card of your library, and your opponent loses life equal to its mana value.
Uh-huh.
But if it's not saddled, you lose life equal to its mana value.
At any cost.
Yes.
Yep.
Any cost.
We had an opponent on the Magic stream yesterday lose 7 life over a couple turns to drawing extra cards with their Snorse.
Any cost, Graham.
And then they saddled it, and then they drew their Sphinx and domed us for 5.
Greatness.
Oh.
Greatness.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Snorse.
Yeah.
Love this.
It's really good. Also, it's a 2/2 for 2. Like, it's just very efficient.
Also, like, by bobbing wrong, you can kind of control when you get bobbed,
yeah.
which will be every turn.
Until you have enough creatures.
Until the hand size improves.
Yes. I love this card, and I love the dainty Snorse. Like, it's like, right? It honestly looks like it's smiling a bit. Just because it looks terrifying doesn't mean it's like...
It's having a good day.
Yeah, it's having a great day. It's bobbed wrong 6 or 7 times at this point.
Yeah, it's bitten a lot of people, and it's having a good time. The person who fell off it, they're not the subject of this card. That's the Snorse.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
else you got?
I've got so much stuff. I've got 2 more cards in here. I've got
heavens.
yet another rare. I've got a Void Rend.
Okay. This is the breaking news?
Yep, we're on the breaking news cycle. The spell can't be countered, destroy target non-land permanent. Yeah, that's fine, but I'm still going to take the Snorse.
Yeah, that's 3 colors, so I wouldn't be first picking Void Rend. Yeah.
And then I have a shiny breaking news card.
Cool.
I have Decisive Denial.
Oh.
This is a blue-green card, and it would be fine. Like, I'm still taking the Snorse.
Oh, this is fight or counterspell?
Yeah, fighter counterspell. I think this was from Strixhaven.
I think so too. I would definitely run this one.
Yeah, no, I've had this card in pools. I've liked it. It always seems to do something.
Yeah, but I wouldn't first pick it.
No.
But if I was in blue-green, I'd be like, sick, hell yeah. And then I got a shiny Plains, which is nice.
Oh, interesting. You got the foil. I don't know how these are collated.
I got a foil basic
So your
land.
foil slot was the breaking news, but your land slot can also be foil.
Yes.
Huh.
I also got a foil breaking news.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and a food token. So, but I didn't get any of these. Whoever won these got them.
Yeah, but I just mean when you opened.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
Cameron.
All right, let's do it. Let's get into it.
What do you want in your pack? I clearly manifested a bunch of black cards.
I mean, difficult to tell.
Nice.
All right. First up, we have blue spree card, Phantom Interference.
Oh, this one's messed up.
1 blue base spree, 3 generic mana. Create a 2/2 white spirit creature token with flying, and for 1 generic mana, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Love this.
That seems honestly really good in the blue deck.
I would definitely pay 5 mana to counter a spell and make a 2/2 spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's like the Strixhaven cards. It casts a spell, but makes a creature. That's always nice.
Yep. Love it. Mystical Tether. 2 and a white enchantment. You may cast Mystical Tether as though it had flash if you pay 2 generic more to cast it. When Mystical Tether enters the battlefield, exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls until Mystical Tether leaves the battlefield. In my experience, this card reads 2 and a white. A target opponent taps 1 green and discards Snakeskin Veil.
In my experience, this card reads 5 mana, ruin my attack.
Yeah.
I do not see these going late.
Nope.
I think
No.
these are very highly picked.
I've actually never had someone cast this against me at instant speed. It's just O-Ring or Borrowed Time or whatever, and it's always good at that.
Yep.
That's always a good card.
There's not enough just random enchantment removal running around.
No, there really isn't, I've discovered, because I had someone play like 2 of these and a Lassoed by the Law against me, and I'm just sitting here being like,
Well,
I really, really want like a Wear and Tear, which
Or-
I think is in the breaking news sheet. I could be wrong.
your graveyard recursion card, your Mourner Surprise sitting sadly uselessly in your hand.
Yep. Next up, Quilled Charger. 3 in a red for a 4/3 Porcupine Mount. Whenever Quilled Charger attacks while saddled, it gets +1/+2 and gains menace until end of turn, and saddle cost is 2.
All right.
This is fine.
Briefly, before discussing the merits of the actual card, this seems dangerous
Porcupine Mount, yeah.
to ride. I mean, I know they've illustrated the saddle, but there's still like the head spines like coming
Yeah.
right at you.
Yeah. Animals undulate as they move. Right.
Yeah. If like the porcupine's like looking at something and someone throws something up in the air and the porcupine tilts its head back and impales your pelvis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Evangelion taught us all about the hedgehog's dilemma, and frankly, a porcupine that's large enough to ride just magnifies that entire experience.
Oh, look, Thunder Junction has not been around for long, and somebody has to fill those graveyards.
Also, I can just hear this guy eating a pumpkin.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, it's the face of that porcupine that they feed pumpkins to at a zoo.
Oh,
right?
I
forget.
gotta go see this.
I forget the name of this semi-celebrity pumpkin on TikTok, but he loves pumpkins.
As a card, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
4/3
fine.
for
It's
4.
a little expensive.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Bristlepack Sentry, 1 in a green for a 3/3 with Defender. As long as you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Bristlepack Sentry can attack as though it didn't have Defender. I frequently see this with an aura or an equipment on it.
Yeah, I like this on turn 2. There's things I'd prefer to do on turn 2 in a green deck, like the mana. There's 2 different mana accelerant creatures, or the Entertainer is also a really good green 2-drop. But this is very good, and it will generally in green get to attack.
Yep.
I like the flavor of this card that she can't attack while you don't have big creatures because she's defending her children. But then once you have big creatures, her children have grown up and she's getting in there.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is good.
Black Snag Buzzard, 2 in a black for a bird. It is a 2/1 with flying. Black Snag Buzzard enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if a creature died this turn.
This rocks.
Yeah, and it has plot for 1 in a black.
Perfect.
So you can put it on layaway until the time is right.
Yeah.
Right? It just sits in the plot zone, circling overhead until something dies.
Yeah,
Anything? Yeah, it does too, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
it's a huge improvement over this kind of card where like half the time you have to cast it as an overcosted 2/1 kind of deal. Like we've seen this kind of card before, and I'm always like meh, but plot.
Yeah.
Being able to plot for 2 is also just really good because it's just like, yep, turn 2, do this, or you can plot it while doing something else on a later turn. Like it's cheap, which is nice. And then 3/2 flyer is good stuff.
Yep.
I mean, you can also like paying rate for it is also fine if you're getting the counter.
Yeah. I don't know. 3/2 flyer for 2. That's what dreams are made of, though.
Yeah.
Yep. Next up, Sterling Hound. We have discussed Sterling Hound. It is, I mean, it's a 3/2 for 3, but generic. It's gray, gray ogre,
Yeah, there's
but
two.
it's colorless
yeah,
with an
there-
upside.
There's too much
What a life we lead.
competition at the 3-drop slot for this card, though.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I think this is fine as a 23rd if you're feeling a little like
Yeah.
pinched, but otherwise I'm not excited to run this. Next up, hey, Jolene, Plundering
Ooh.
Pugilist, 1 red-green for a legendary human mercenary. She is a 4/2. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures with power 4 or greater, create a treasure token. For 1 in a red, sacrifice a treasure. Jolene, Plundering Pugilist, deals 1 damage to any target.
So 2 things. First of all, 1, different kind of Snorse, still very good. 2,
This is more of a Cobrors.
yeah. 2, the art is amazing. She just punched someone clear out of their boots. It's almost too cartoony, but it's not. It's great. What does the card do again? I was too distracted. by the
Whenever
punch.
you attack with 1 or more creature tokens with power 4 or greater, create a treasure.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, which is her herself. but also you can play this on 3, and if you've got, I don't know, a 4/1 for 2 somehow, it's a pseudo haste effect, right? You play this first main, you attack with something with power 4 or greater, you get you get a treasure token.
And you can just start hurling gold at people.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think she's backbreaking, but she's an important role filler, I feel, in the 4 power Gruul deck.
I
Yep.
appreciate that they gave her auburn hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's for the song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Canyon Crab, 1 in a blue for an 05. It is a crab. I love. They're so bad all the time, but I love these cards. For 1 in a blue. Hey, no, I was wrong. Canyon Crab gets +2/-2 until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you haven't cast a spell from your hand this turn, draw a card, then discard a card. Love this. Love these cards that enable the doing nothing powerful or doing nothing powerfully limited deck.
This is great. This is the
Blue-white.
the
Yeah.
blue-white or the blue-red double spells deck, right? Because this draws you into your spells if you don't have any. And it's an 05, so it sits there.
Holds down the ground.
Or if they're being like, well, I'll just attack you with a couple of 1/1s, be like, well, remember, I can actually change this into a 2/3
Yeah.
and kill your dude.
It lets you do something with your mana if you're holding back.
Yeah.
Also, I had a game where I had one of these and then the 3/3 uncommon blue-white flyer with vigilance that if you haven't cast a spell this turn, you draw a card.
Yep.
Felt good. Felt good.
Seems good.
I don't think there's too many. I didn't know where you were going with that sentence when I said the blue-white theme. That's what I meant, is that the blue-white has this theme of the don't cast a spell from your hand during your turn.
Oh, right. Yes, the plot.
Yeah, there's not too many cards, I think, that capitalize on it, but there's this one. There's the Wingsmith. The Prairie Dog is really strong.
Prairie Dog, yeah.
Prairie Dog kicked my ass the other day.
Yep.
Because it's a 2/2, and it gets
With lifelink.
with lifelink, and it gets bigger and bigger. And then the crab does some looting, and it's a fun deck to put together. It's neat stuff.
Next up, Hellspur Brute. Hey, this guy.
Oh yeah.
4 in a red. You will never pay 4 in a red for this card. For a 5/4 with trample and affinity for Outlaws.
I love they just got affinity randomly.
Yeah, this card comes down pretty regularly, I find, on 3.
3 or 4.
Yeah, and it feels great on those earlier turns.
Yeah.
And I still think if you're in some sort of horrible worst case scenario, 5/4 trample for 5 is fine.
Yeah,
That's a C grade card all on its own.
If you pay retail for this, I think you still don't feel terrible about it until your opponent plays their, 6/6 trampler for 6.
If you manage to play an outlaw on turn 2, and then your turn 3 is Prickly Pear, which itself gives you 2 outlaws, on turn 4 you might be able to cast 2 spells, one of them this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Pretty good.
For our first rare, it is another spree card.
Ooh.
Insatiable Avarice.
Oh yeah.
For 1 black. Spree. 2 generic. Search your library for a card, then shuffle and put that card on top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
tutor. Well, demonic tutor? No. Vampiric tutor? No.
this
Demonic
is,
tutor. The tutor that puts it on top.
vampiric.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Imperial Seal. I don't know. I'm just saying things.
And then for black, target player draws 3 cards and loses 3 life. So, you can search your library, put something on top, and then for 2 more mana, you get to draw it and 2 other cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's some other text that doesn't matter.
I have already successfully killed an opponent with this.
Did you make them lose their last 3 life?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I took them to 3, and I was like, you get to draw cards and lose 3 life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Love it.
It's
That's
the
so
old
rude.
sign and blood trick, but it's even slightly more powerful. But yeah, I had this in a sealed, and it was very good at being able to draw into cards. Actually, you know what's funny? This was in that sealed I was talking about that didn't have any bombs, because I don't actually think this is a bomb necessarily. But because when I was like, what do I even tutor for? Because none of the cards were like, definitely this is the back-breaking bomb. But I did just be like, I'll just draw 3, or I'll just kill you. It's very efficient.
Next up. Oh, Oh, okay. Right. This card. Esoteric Duplicator.
What?
The egg.
2 and a blue. Artifact. It is a clue. Whenever you sacrifice Esoteric Duplicator or another artifact, you may pay 2 generic. If you do, at the beginning of your next end step, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. For 2 generic, sacrifice Esoteric Duplicator, draw a card. Sure. There's Mindslaver in this format in the in the list cards.
Oh, on the breaking news thing, yeah.
Yeah. So you can Mindslaver lock someone in limited.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah. Also, this doesn't say when you sacrifice Esoteric Duplicator or another non-token artifact. Non-token is not a word that appears on this card.
Yeah.
So you just get like your food tokens back eventually, right? Like it
Wait, you can just sacrifice and it's whenever you sacrifice it or another artifact.
Yeah.
So you can pay 4 to draw a card, but you can just get your duplicator back.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to go absolutely completely unhinged with this and get treasure tokens back by paying 2. I sacrifice a treasure, get a mana, pay another mana, get my treasure token back. I'm no longer capable of making rational decisions.
I buffer underrun my mana. This is great. Wow. What a wild card.
Yeah.
Is this good in limited, or is this just something I want to be good in limited?
I think this is probably like you're going to go 2 and 3 with this in your sealed pool, but those two are going to
You're gonna feel amazing.
Yeah, those 2 are gonna feel better than any Magic you have ever played in your life.
This was Wheeler's preview card.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's an egg.
Right.
That makes more eggs.
Right.
That makes your eggs better. This is like the hollandaise sauce of the egg stack.
Delicious.
It's this seems awesome in Commander. This seems probably busted in some other format that I have no idea how to play. But I don't know if I want to run it in limited.
Yeah. Like I say, you include this, you go 2 and 3, and those 2 you will be talking about those 2 for years.
James,
You into the home.
you were around for recording the North 100 review episodes. Did they talk about this?
I believe they did.
Is that the one that hasn't aired yet, or?
I don't know. No, I went out last week probably. I can't remember what they said about this card though.
All right.
I don't remember if it was good or not.
But they talked about it.
I believe they did talk
Which
about
means
it.
it was at least worth talking about, even if they were just going, this is terrible.
Yeah.
But I bet it wasn't. I bet it wasn't.
You know, we have people here we could ask.
Well, I did. I asked James. He was there. He was paying attention the whole time, I'm sure.
It's not like he has to pay attention
No.
to everything that comes out.
In fact, it's much better and healthier for him if he doesn't.
Yeah.
What else you got that pack?
All right, my breaking news card, Abrupt Decay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, everyone loves Abrupt Decay. Who doesn't love Abrupt Decay? Now it also now a crime.
Yeah. Spell can't be countered. Destroy target non-land permanent mana value 3 or less. Honest Rutstein. I don't think he is.
Honest Rutstein becoming the Patches of Magic the Gathering.
Love that.
I want to see him setting up shop on different planes, ripping people off wherever he goes.
Yep.
The Rutstein card itself, by the way, is super annoying.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah,
you seen it?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like better Gravedigger.
yeah, 1 green black for a 3/2, and yeah, you get a creature back from your graveyard to your hand. But also, just statically, creatures cost 1 less.
Yeah.
It's a messed up
I-
card.
I really want to just see Rutstein showing up randomly on other planes, and you're like, hey,
He could be the CMOT
Yeah.
dibbler of the
and he's like, oh, you
multiverse.
wouldn't hurt old Rutstein, would you? Here's the deal.
Yeah.
That's good.
Honest old Rutstein.
My foil, your foil potentially. 1 and a white, trained Erex. It's a blade with saddle. Whenever trained Erinx attacks while saddled, it gains first strike until end of turn. Scry 1.
It's good.
It's a good card. Totally fine. It's at one of them 2-drops you were talking about.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying to block.
Because, that first strike is quite irritating because you have to, when you need to be dealing 3 damage to it and have 4 toughness, you are now looking at cards that cost a lot more than 2.
Mountain.
Nice.
Oh, and Human Rouge.
Oh,
This is the one for the Merry Men reprint. Human Rogue token.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest thing is that because they put Outlaws Merriment into the breaking news thing, they had to also reprint all 3 tokens for Outlaws Merriment, only one of which is technically an outlaw.
Yeah.
And they're all like Eldraine style, which is very funny.
I don't know. I think it's hilarious that the Outlaws Merriment, only one of them is an outlaw, but man, she's having enough fun for all 3 of them, apparently.
Yup.
That merriment
she does
is
look
real.
very Eldraine.
So yeah, early sort of impressions from what I've played is that I do think the set is good. I'm having a lot of fun drafting it. I am feeling a little demoralized from time to time by the sheer volume and quality of the removal spells.
Yes.
That I get dumpstered by. And the argument, of course, is that I could also be opening those removal spells because I'm opening the same packs, but I'm not opening those removal spells.
Yeah.
When I do, obviously it feels great and totally fair and wonderful that I'm doing it, but it's more often it's just sort of like, oh, right, that card. Oh,
Yeah,
okay, that thing.
I think the availability of good removal in the limited environment. As it turns out, the composition of the limited environment warps the limited environment. It incentivizes taking the black cards that regrow, that unearth or reanimate cards from your graveyard.
I will say we didn't actually open a ton of removal in our 3 packs, though. We opened a mediocre, what we declared to be a fine mediocre on black uncommon, and you had the Sky Tether.
Yep.
But I didn't have like a red.
I mean, we had an abrupt decay in here.
Oh, I had the white one, but it looks like white has the best removal from our limited.
White
pack.
has a lot. White's got Bovine Intervention and Steer Clear and 2 different O-rings, and there's a weird spree card you can do stuff with.
Yeah, white has a lot of removal.
Yeah. But going back to something I said at the top of the show is that I do find that despite the potential for big bombs from stuff like the Big Score, actually the cards seem like pretty fair overall, but the Big Score and the breaking news cards, and considering how good the fixing is, like you can definitely play multicolor decks in this format for limited. I am seeing that just like good old fashioned efficient 2-color, curve out, uncommon focused draft decks are doing very well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I love that.
So that's good. I guess maybe the format is healthier than it feels when your opponent goes like skewer the critics into Savage Smash, and then you are sad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Ravnikins in Thunder Junction. Maybe
a lot of Ravnikins.
That 2-color energies come with them.
They're just excited for somewhere different to visit.
Yeah. I mean, like you get worn out on the on being the metropole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know there's a green belt, but there's no desert in Ravnica, is there?
I don't think so.
No.
Not that I can.
Maybe food deserts.
Yeah. Well, you can always get Golgari food, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite flavor of Golgari food? I like plain.
Yeah. Oh, I like mushroom.
Plain, please.
Well, it's all made of mushrooms. Well, yeah, but that one tastes earthier.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, great. Let us know how Thunder Junction's going for you in the comments below. Cha-cha-cha. We appreciate you tuning in for Tap Tap Concede. And reminder, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, and we'll send you the contents of these 3 packs. Until next time, a reminder, of course, that if you don't win that, you can always buy some at cardkingdom.com/LRR. Doing it with that little code on there lets them know that we're sending you over there, which is helpful for us. And, of course, everything we do is brought to you by you and either your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or by becoming a member on this very YouTube channel. And I don't know about this episode, but if not this one, a future episode of Tap Tap Concede will feature the member shoutouts at the end. So look for that. Until then, I've been Graham, joined by Kathleen.
Bye-bye.
And Cameron. James has been on tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. We'll talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.